Welcome to my kitchen. A honey cupcake topped with honey buttercream. Honey is a wonderful natural sweetener. And stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how to make this edible honeycomb. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let's get busy baking. First, prepare your pans. I always put a little bit of rice in each cup. That helps with any of the oil or butter in the bottoms of the cupcakes. And set these aside. Start with sifting all the dry ingredients together. That's 2 1/4 cups of regular flour. It's come, I like this recipe. A 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of ginger. The ginger adds some zing! And a teaspoon of cardamon. Mix that around a little bit and sift it all together. Now in the bowl of your stand mixer, cream together a 1/2 cup of butter. That's at room temperature. How'd that happen? And a 1/2 cup of sugar and 2/3 cup of honey. And I use Illinois Beekeeper Association honey because local honey is really great. Cream those together until the sugar's dissolved. About 3 minutes. And scrape down the bowl to make sure all the butter and honey is fully incorporated. It's going to hide right here. We want them fully fluffed together. Then add 2 eggs one at a time, incorporate it, and then the next one. Then to 1/2 cup of milk, add 1/2 cup of oil, and then add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, and I'm just going to give my liquid ingredients a little whisk because I like to mix them in at the same time. Add in 1/3 of your dry ingredients. Mix it in, and then 1/2 your wet. We're going to alternate and end with the dry. And towards the end, make sure you scrape down the bowl and get up all the dry ingredients that's hiding on the bottom. And then distribute your batter in all of them. And I use a scoop because it helps me be a little neater. And then bake for 15 to 18 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. And while the cupcakes are cooling, let's get started on this honey buttercream. So easy. You just take 4 sticks of butter or 2 cups, and you want these at room temperature. And then whisk them together till they're nice and fluffy. It'll take about 5 minutes to get it to the fluffiness level that you want. But scrape down your bowl in between, and all the air we just whisked into it makes it lighter in color. Here's one straight out of the refrigerator so you can see. Yeah. Now add in a whole bag of powdered sugar. Easiest recipe to memorize. That's 900 grams. And you want to add it in a little bit at a time. Otherwise, it'll send powdered sugar all over your kitchen. If you start getting powdered sugar all over the place, here's a little cheat. Just put a tea towel over top. Look at that go! Now it's super stiff at this point. And we're going to loosen it up with 1/2 cup of honey. Just pour it right on in. And add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla is kind of like a base flavor. It grounds everything. Now, this is still very stiff, and depending upon the temperature and humidity in your kitchen, your butter and a whole lot of other things, you might have to add a tablespoon of milk or heavy cream at the end. Just add 1 tablespoon at a time. Okay, so we just beat in a bunch of air into all this. And I'm going to pipe this onto the cupcakes, and I don't want an air pocket in my piping bag. So I'm just going to take my paddle attachment. You can get the kind with the scraper on the side or just use the regular. And get out all that air. Just a few minutes. Woo! Oops. Who closed the window? And to make honeycombs for the little beehives, that's straightforward. Just take some yellow candy melts and nuke it for maybe on 30-second intervals until it's nice and smooth. And then use packing bubbles. And then put it in the freezer for 15 minutes to let it firm up. And there you go, another masterpiece. Anyway, I hope you had fun today. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, and boop that bell.